What's up, guys? RPF Garage here, and today I'm not working on the S14. I've been working on it. Just a little stuff. I did the look, it's eating rice for the ricer. But I got the intercooler in. I am going turboed. I'm a full sent it. Got the intercooler in. It does not actually hang low. Actually, it is a little higher than the subframe, but it actually doesn't. It doesn't set low. It looks like it. Here, let me clean you off. It looks like it, but it actually doesn't set low. And if it does, for some reason, set low, I can't go up anymore. I have it bottomed out, and it's already bolted in, so it's not going up anymore. However, last time I had you guys on, you seen I rerouted all the fuse box. Let me get you zoomed in there and focused. Come on. The fuse box right there and the power steering reservoir from up here down there. Still not too sure if that's where I want to put it yet, but that'll stay there. I rewrapped some of the harness right here. A little bit of that wiring, this whole harness right here. I cleaned off all my grounds and connections. Put my fuel pressure regulator in. On an S14 or 240 in general, I guess. The bottom of your fuel pressure regulator goes back to the tank, which is this line right here. This is the one from the tank to your fuel rail. Get you guys zoomed out there. This comes to your fuel rail. This is your fuel feed. This is your return to the tank. That goes to the bottom of your fuel pressure regulator right there. Okay. This small port is obviously vacuum. You could just vacuum that to the spot where the old fuel pressure regulator on your fuel rail goes. And then the back, port here goes to your fuel rail. So, where's that? Oh, well, a hole. I'll get to that. Which the side one comes to right here to this line. I just went and got brand new 7/16 line and got new. This is where my vacuum comes off the intake, where the old fuel pressure regulator went, which it went right here. Get off there. This goes to a vacuum port on your fuel pressure regulator. This goes to the side port. And then, as I just said, the bottom port goes to the return on your tank. So, car-wise, pretty much the same. How you guys seen it last. I haven't done too much besides the intercooler, the fuel pressure regulator. Oh, and then I just drilled a hole because I couldn't find a decent spot to actually put my boost line in. But my line, I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Come on, focus. That line right there is my boost line. So it comes up, and it is this line right here. Comes up right here, and that'll go to a vacuum source on my intake. Come on, why aren't you focusing? There we go. Goes to the vacuum source. Man. Vacuum source on your intake. Okay, I'm just going to put it right at the throttle body because there is a port there on the KAs. I did some rhino lining basically right here. Kind of down under there. I'm going to do more. I just ran out. And on this side, I did some rhino lining just to protect it a little bit more. Okay, motor wise, I'm sorry I'm talking so much. You know, I know you guys don't like talking videos. Motor wise, I had to pull it apart. Okay, irritating as heck. It only took me like 30-40 minutes after after Native Works came over. He had the part or the tool to get my head studs out because I didn't have the torque bit for the size. So now you may ask, why did I pull my motor apart? Well, it scored up my rod when it spun that bearing, which is right here. When it spun this bearing right here, you see how it has, let me get you focused. Come on. Come on. There we go. See how it has that little lip and it looks terrible and snapped and everything? Yeah. It shouldn't look like this. It should look more like this. This is still a bad bearing, but it should look more like this being in the motor, you know. So it shouldn't, this, like I said, this bearing is bad. And I'm replacing all the bearings, but it should look more like this instead of this. All right. So now that I figured that out, looked at the crank actually seemed decently fine. It seemed okay. But at the end of this event, I'm planning on getting a Brian Crowder stroker kit anyways, so I'm not all that worried about the internals of this. I just want it to last. So reason that I pulled it apart, it screwed up the rod pretty bad. Like I said, the crank was fine. I just polished it up a little bit with WD-40 and some 400 sand grit. It's, like I said, it's screwed it. Come on, focus. It screwed it up pretty good. Like really good. The cap actually isn't too bad. It's not too bad, but it screwed up my rod pretty hefty. So that's actually not too great. My piston seems alright. I'm gonna clean it all up with brake clean and probably a soft brush of some sort, just to clean off the carbon. So my head looks pretty decent. I'm gonna clean it up with some brake clean and make it look good. I do have assembly lube. Put that right there. You can use assembly grease, assembly lube. This is what I use. Not the best. I prefer actually this. I just had this laying around. This is just basically grease for pretty much anything. You know, it comes in a little, let me open it here. Comes in a little vat, you know. Pretty thin grease, actually. Really thin grease. Cams, this is intake, this is exhaust. Your green is always your exhaust. Well, I guess most of the time. Green is always your exhaust, and yellow is always your intake. They seem fine. Gears, you know, everything seems fine. I'm going to get new cams. Like I said, all internals are going to be changed. I need a new gasket because this just isn't good. You shouldn't be able. This is bad. This is heat sinked and this is bad. I'm ordering a new gasket. The main thing I have been working on the most is deleting a lot of the stuff. So like the heater core hoses, I should have done a video on it. I'm sorry. Your heater core hoses, I got rid of all of it. I capped all of it with just some bolts and some clamps, which these are not going anywhere. There's not going to be a leak. It's not going anywhere. If there is, I'll do actual caps, and I'm going to anyways, but all of these, I just capped them with bolts that were bigger than what this hose was, so it like, you can't pull that off. So it's sealed pretty good, but I just capped them all off with bolts. Do what you want. I'm just using bolts because that's what I had for right now. I will get actual caps, but I'm trying to get the car put together for this event that is coming up, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I already talked about the stuff I deleted, like the AC condenser, the AC radiator, blah 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 thingy, my EGR valve. Come on, focus. EGR valve, which whoever owned this car before me, come on. Whoever owned this car before me kind of just, are you gonna focus? Kind of just duct tape that. So how this works, let me get you guys zoomed out here and focused. Okay. How this works is it bolts up to, where is it at? Bolts up to right here, right there where that RTV is. Bolts up to right there, and then this part runs to your exhaust manifold. Dumb. Okay, it's stupid. So I just made a plate, I blocked it off, I did some beads around it, and then I put RTV around it, just where I have some peace of mind. I don't think it's gonna, it is boosted, so it's gonna have a lot more pressure than before, but I just RTV'd it, welded it, and then RTV'd it. Okay, so this stuff right here is everything that I pulled out. The spider stuff, I ripped all of this out. That is your heater that goes to your, I think this is the feed. Yes, this is the feed to your heater core. And then, it's probably cut up because I needed some, oh, right there. That's your return. So, that one right there comes off of here. So it comes off of here, goes to your heater core, then this one is your return. So, let's see. Yeah. So, all of the heating portion of the car, so all this, all that, and these two right here, I deleted them. And this one down here. Like I said, I just put a bolt in it. These are not going anywhere, these are not leaking. If they do, then I'll put a cap in it when the time comes, but these aren't going anywhere at all. I seriously doubt they'll leak, because the reason why I use bolts is because they do have threads, and when you get your hose clamp on it and you actually tighten it down, it tightens on the threads. So it actually, I doubt it'll leak, but if it does, I'm capping it anyways, no need to worry. So I didn't want to pull off the pump, oil pump cover, because I didn't want to pull off my crank for one, and I didn't want to do all that. So I just undid the idle sprocket that goes onto your head right there, goes right into there. I just pulled that off and pulled it to the side, so that way I didn't have to take this chain off. You know, this section right here isn't out of timing. This has, oh, wrong side. This has, you know, that yellow dot, which goes on that mark. Come on, focus. Come on. Which goes to that mark right there. Okay? That's where the yellow goes. Little focus. Come on. Okay. Yikes. That's where this yellow link goes, and then the dark links right there, you can see the kind of darker, goes to, and there's one more, one right there, one up there, one here, one there. Okay, so that goes to the marks here. Get you guys in there. Goes to the marks right there. These dots, that's where those dark links go. Same thing here. Come on. Same thing here. I just put the cam bolts, the cam gear bolts back in, just that way I didn't lose them and nothing's out of place. So I pulled the motor apart, and that's what I found. So I have a guy that's willing to just give me the number or cylinder 2 rod, because he blew his KA, the 4th cylinder grenaded and blew a hole in his block, and he's done with KAs. So the cross hatching in the cylinders, I guarantee you won't be able to see it. I put some grease in there so that way nothing, I just put some grease in there so that way nothing would rust while I wait for my parts. But the cross hatching is still there. Cylinder walls are actually still really good condition. There's no scoring, there's nothing in there. Oil squirters right there still seems to I mean, it's not falling out or, you know, nothing. So I'm going to actually clean these up. I'm gonna pull, once I get the cylinder 2 rod, I'm actually going to, when I put it in, bolted up. I'm gonna bring all these to the top, or even just take them out, and I'm gonna clean them up with brake clean and a soft brush. New head gasket with ARP studs. You guys do not have to do, if you're doing this build, you don't have to do ARP head studs right away. The stock head studs will do just fine. I'm only running 5 or 6 PSI. The reason I'm doing ARP head studs is because I'm already here. I already have the block or the head off. I'm just going to put new gasket on it and ARP head studs. I'm just gonna do it because me particularly, I don't believe in reusing head studs. Everybody says that you can. That's fine. You can go ahead and reuse them. That is fine with me, but I'm not going to, especially since they're just the stock ones. If they were ARP or CLP or whatever the other companies are named, I would consider it, but stock, don't reuse stock, because you don't know what the motor's been through. You don't know if it's been overheated. You don't know if they're stretched. You just don't know. So I suggest don't reuse them. You can, but that's at your own expense. If you're already here doing it, you might as well just do the right thing. Get ARP, or just brand new set of OEM ones. But I'm going ARP because I am planning on redoing the motor, and I do want to reuse those head studs. And I'm also going to be doing a lot of power with it. So, well, I guess 400 or 500 isn't really a lot, but it's gonna have some power. So I'm gonna do the ARP main studs as well. So I'm gonna have fun with it. As soon as this motor blows again, like if I spin another bearing, I'm just going to completely go through it. Make sure you guys are still going. You are. Take the head in and have it gone through, resealed, you know, new retainers, new springs, new everything. I'm gonna have it completely gone through. And then the block, I'm gonna have it pressure tested and hot tanked. Make sure that my bore's correct. Make sure you get the spec from the machine shop before you order your pistons. I would never order pistons unless the machine shop told me it is exactly this bore, and then I will. And if it's the wrong size, it'll be on them. So, being said, this is gonna be awesome. I hope you guys are excited, because I am. Can't wait to get this motor finally in. If I make the event, I'm gonna be so happy. If I don't, I don't. I'm not too worried about it, but at the same time, I just want to have fun with this car. I have 2 buddies of mine that are actually going to this event that are helping me out big time with this motor. Motors are pretty easy. It's the what part, you know, or like what is the best one, stuff like that. What should I do before the event, that type of stuff, because this will be my first event. I am not too sure how I will do. I will keep you guys. I don't have a GoPro or nothing, so you guys won't have on-car footage. You might have in-car footage. I'll have somebody record for me or something, but I'm hoping I do good. You never know. First time charm, whatever. But yeah, I think I touched up pretty much on everything I've been doing. I've put a lot of work into this intake right here. I've deleted like all the little bits and pieces everywhere. I deleted that freaking the PCV valve thingy. Delete it. There's just all of this is all deleted, and I will clean it all up. All right, I will clean all this up. All this is deleted. All these little hoses and doodads and thums and ding dongs. All that's deleted. Oh, and then the part that actually goes to the car right here. That is my oil drain, which I need. I think that's about it. But I figured I'd give you guys an update because I haven't really been recording. I know, I'm sorry. I am trying to record. Either it's my battery's dead, I don't have enough memory, or I just come out here, I wanna clear my head, I just work on the car, whatever. So, if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. if you guys want to see some more of everything that I do on this channel, hit that subscribe button. But until then, I'll see you guys on the next one. And I'm sorry about the wind noise, but I figured I'd let you guys see this.